Hello and welcome to another Let's Play of Eldfall Chronicles. This time we are trying to start the Restoring Balance campaign with the Empire of Soga. As you can see here, the Empire of Soga consists of one clan champion, two Bushi attendants and one Kitsune Spellmaiden. I would call it my classical setup for 65 points. And we are playing the first quest of this campaign. It's the prologue, Breaking In. So basically, a mana rift appeared with which I represent with this monolith. And yeah, the party has to get to the gate and open it, either with a successful toughness or agility roll by using the interact action. And the game continues until all the live models have exited the field through the gates. And the hostiles, tier 1, so basically the gargoyles, they will respawn once they're destroyed. And otherwise, the gates are targetable, so basically they can be destroyed with an armor value of 5 and 5 hit points. But since this quest is to get through the gates and open them, I do not think that will be come into play. Good. Without any further ado, let's start the turn of the Empire of Soga. The clan champion will use his stratagem evasion tactics to give his party +2 to their agility. Basically just to keep the Kitsune Spellmaiden safe. And just to mention it, since last Friday, so 2 days ago, before this recording, Free Company released a new rule, the recovery check. So basically in the strategic phase, every incapacitated model is allowed to make a toughness roll, and if it's managed to, it gets up with 1 hit point and gets the weaken condition. So basically, let's see what impact it will have with the Kitsune Spellmaiden and the whole party. So now, evasive tactics, evasion tactics, and I think the Bushi attendants will both go into their warrior stance. Just to keep the Kitsune Spellmaiden a little bit more secured. Since this is an ongoing mission, I want to be as sure as possible, because wounds take over to the next game. Let me just measure. So here with 10 inches, he's far away from the gargoyle. So he will wait with his activation. I think this Bushi attendant will activate first. And he will move 5 inches up to here, and then he will attack the gargoyle, who will in return react with a dodge action. So let's see, black die for the Empire of Soga. Once again, this is not a confrontation roll. The Bushi attendant managed to hit with this one strike because of the warrior stand. The gargoyles attempt to dodge it with a 10 is above its agility of 8. Therefore the gargoyle failed to dodge. It is still allowed to move 2.5 inches closer to the active model. And now the Bushi attendant has a power of 13 minus the armor of 5, therefore 8 or less to wound. With a 15, the arrow scatters at the rock arm of the rock skin of the gargoyle. Next, the same Bushi attendant will activate again, attacking the same gargoyle. The gargoyle once again will try to dodge. Let's see again. A 9 is another hit with his accuracy of 12, and the 20 is definitely not enough to dodge this. So therefore, first of all, let me walk the gargoyle 2.5 inches once again closer. And now let's see. With a 17, once again, this is not enough to destroy the gargoyle. So why I did all of this? In the hope to get within reach. Yeah, it is definitely within reach, because the clan champion has the dash ability. He will dash up to 2 inches from it. Let me just check. Yeah, a little bit closer. Here we are. So, and with the dash action, he's allowed to make a single strike, which cannot be modified. Therefore, one strike at an offense of 16, the gargoyle is unable to act because it is out of activation points. And a natural 20 is not enough to hit the gargoyle. This gargoyle is quite resilient. So the clan champion will once again activate. He will attack with his spear and stay idle. So 2 attacks. Actually, since he's not engaged, he will just walk around a little bit and attack the gargoyle from the side. 2 attacks, 2 strikes because of his stamina, 1 because of his arms master, and I think he will use his combat art fencing 3 for second wind and another die. Once again, 16 or less to hit. 15, 14, 6 and 2. These are 4 hits in total. He has a power of 13. An armor of 5 from the gargoyle reduces this to 8 or less. Come on, 1 die roll. Here we are. 5, 6 and 8 and a 9. So 3 wounds. And since the gargoyle is a construct, it will be destroyed. But according to the quest, the gargoyle will respawn at this 19th position as the beginning of the following hostile's turn. So basically the gargoyle will come back here. I think I will mark them in the as soon as this turn is done from where the gargoyle started. So then this bushy attendant will activate. He will walk 5 inches to get in here. And he will attack this gargoyle. The gargoyle will, let me just put a little token where it is. Here we are, just to mark the respawning position. It will walk up to here or dodge. Once again, only 1 die for the bushy attendant since he's in the warrior stand. The 15 is not enough, and so the gargoyle wouldn't have to roll for a dodge roll. So this is a missed shot. And the next attempt of the bushy attendant to attack the gargoyle. Same procedure as before. So the 3 of the bushy attendant would normally hit, but the gargoyle manages to dodge with a natural 1. Therefore, this attempt is also failed. Now, the Kitsune spell main will use a rock action of 6 inches to get between the bushy attendants. And she will try to cast Burning Resolve. Let me just check. 2, 8. Yeah, she will try to cast it at the clan champion. Since she is a mythic, she's allowed to use her moral, so 15 or less. With the 9, this is a successful cast. And now, once again, let me see. 2 inch uses a dash action, 2 inches here. 8 inches here. 10 inches up to here. And now he's within 2 inches. So the gargoyle is once again engaged. 1 attack from the clan champion. With a natural 1, he not only hits, he also ignores the armor. Therefore, 113 or less. It's a 15. This is not enough. But the Kitsune spellman can once again try to cast the spell. For this, she has to be within 10 inches, which is the case. Looking at this, yeah, this is the case. She will walk a little bit around and once again try to cast Burning Resolve. With a 5, this is successful, and the clan champion immediately will try, as before with 4 die, to attack the gargoyle, who's out of actions. The 19 does not hit, but the 6, 5 and 8, they 3 are all hits. Once again, 8 or less. 5, 7, 1. Again, 3 wounds, and this gargoyle is also temporarily destroyed. So, now let me prepare the next turn, or the first turn for the hostiles, and I'll see you then. So, the gargoyle's returned, and as you can see here, I just put down a mechanism token to mark where the gargoyles will respawn to keep it a little bit easier for me. And now, let's start with the golems, who will use 2 run actions to get to the closest enemy model. So in this instance, I didn't measure it. Actually, I think I should do that. It might be that the clan champion is closer than the Bushi attendant. So these are 12, about 16 inches. And here we are having more likely to 17. Oh, okay. Good thing that I measured. So with this, the golem will let me just flip it. Will stop around 4 inches from the Bushi attendant. And this golem is clearly running towards the Bushi attendant. And he is, I would say, getting into contact. Here we are. Does the Bushi attendant want to this? He might do an attack of opportunity, and he also might... He will only have 1 strike with this. Armors Master, Fencing. Yeah, come on. He will attack the golem. 1 strike because it's his reactive roll. 1 strike due to Arms Master, and another for Combat Art Fencing 3, second wind. So he needs, since it's his defense roll, a 12 or less. 12, 9, and 17. So 2 hits. Power of 13, armor of 8, therefore 5 or less. It's a 4 and a 20. So, with this, it's 1 wound onto the golem. Not bad at all. Now, this gargoyle is running towards the Kitsune spell main because the target priority is lowest HP, which is the spell main with only 1. So, the gargoyle has a movement of 5. We are at 5 and 10, and this action will trigger a reaction from this Bushi attendant. This one will focus the gargoyle, so therefore no reaction from him. And the Kitsune spell main will, let me just see, she's still outside of 5 inches, so she will keep her action ready. The Bushi attendant, 2 strikes because he used his warrior stance, and therefore he, in his reactive roll, he has his normal strike roll. A 4 and 16, 1 hit. The gargoyle used his run activation, therefore no dodge. And now he needs an 8 or less. It's a 10, which is not enough. Next, this gargoyle, once again, since it is outside of 5 inches, it will use a run action towards the Kitsune spell main, who will activate and use a dodge, and the Kitsune and the Bushi attendant, sorry, will once again react by attacking. So, the gargoyle will move into contact. The Bushi attendant will shoot before it reaches into contact. And then 9 and a 20, therefore 1 hit. Once again, 8 or less. 20 is not enough. And as soon as the gargoyle is into contact, the Kitsune will dodge. And she will dodge 3 inches, getting away from the gargoyle. Next, this gargoyle is really close. So it will use, again, a run action in its first turn, getting up to here. And this Bushi attendant will once again react by attacking the gargoyle with his short bow. The Kitsune will once again wait. So 2 strikes from the Bushi attendant, 6 and a 3, 1 hit, 16, sorry, and a 3, the 3 is a hit, 8 or less to wound, 14 is not enough. Again, the gargoyle will activate. This time it will walk and attack the Kitsune. The Kitsune will use the dodge action, and the Bushi attendant, before the gargoyle walks, will try to shoot it. 8 and a 4, 2 hits. Once again, this roll would be great. It's a 6 and a 3, even better, because both is enough to destroy the gargoyle. And the kitsune is allowed to dodge 3 inches. Putting a little bit more distance between herself and the gargoyle. So let me prepare the second turn of the Empire of Soga, and I'll see you then. The Empire of Soga begins with the clan champion calling the advanced stratagem, so all models gain +1 speed. And the Bushi attendant again get into their defensive stand. And I'll start with the Kitsune spell main. No, I will not start with the Kitsune spell main. I will start with the clan champion, because Burning Resolve only can be used on models without activation points. He will he dodge? Will he attack? Offense 16 against defense 13. Yeah, come on. He will attack the golem, who will defend with his 1 strike, because he is no sentinel, he is only a creature. So 4 attacks from the clan champion, 1 attack from the golem. The golem has a 12, which beats the 2 8s, and the 19 is a fail, so the golem wins this confrontation. And has a power of 15, the clan champion has an armor of 5, therefore 10 or less to wound. With the 2, this is enough, and so much for I want to preserve as much health as possible. Yeah, not so successfully. Now the clan champion tries to... Yeah, I think he will try to do this again, because each golem I destroy makes this scenario much easier. So once again, the golem failed this time with a 15. The 17 is also 1 above the offense, so these are not relevant. But the 5, 9, and 6 of the clan champion are hits. And now he needs a 5 or less to wound, because toughness 13 minus power 8, yeah, 5 or less. 14, 14, 10. So the clan champion is stuck for the moment. Now the Kitsune spell main with her 7-inch would be able to get up to here, where she has no line of sight. She could also, I think I will do that, go 7 inches up to here, and then try to cast Burning Resolve at the clan champion. 15 or less. 19 is not enough, but she has 6, 7 inches because of the advance rule, and she will try to cast a second time Burning Resolve at the clan champion. With the 11, this is enough. And the clan champion will use this to attack the golem once again. He is unable to react. The 18 is not enough, but the 4, 10, and the 15 are enough. Once again, 5 or less. A 3, 9, and 14. So with this, the golem gets a second wound. Now, for the other. This Bushi attendant will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walk 5 inches and shoot at the gargoyle, who will in turn will dodge 2.5 inches towards him. One action. This was from the Kitsune, I believe. So only 1 strike, because he's again in the warrior stance. 16 is not enough, and the dodge is irrelevant. Now this Bushi attendant here will walk 5 inches up to here, and will also shoot it will walk here. Will also shoot at the gargoyle, because now the gargoyle is put down here, closer to this bushy attendant, and it will dodge. The 7 hits, the 11 is not enough to dodge. Now 8 or less to wound, and a natural 1 also destroys this gargoyle. So both of the gargoyles will return next turn. And let me prepare. This bushy attendant here will use a run action and has 12 inches. He is able to run between the golems and get up to here. He will do that. Here, because this way he has a line of sight towards this golem and the gargoyle and this gargoyle, but that would be no. Let me just reposition him. He will run 6 inches here next to the other bushy attendant, and then another 6 inches to stay here. This is a more advantageous position for him, and he protects the Kitsune Spellman a little bit more. This bushy attendant, on the other hand, will walk into contact with the golem. Now he will stay here and make a single shot. Now he will get into contact with only 1 strike and try to attack the golem and destroy it. 12 or less. Natural 1, which is brilliant because he not only hits, he also ignores the armor of 8. So this is a big chance. 13 or less to destroy it. And a 19. Sadly not enough. This was so close yet so far. So I prepare the second turn of the hostiles and we'll see what happens now. As you can see here, both of the gargoyles have respawned. And to get here, the gargoyle will most likely first get into contact with the bushy attendant. So this gargoyle will use a run action to avoid the bushy attendant and get into contact with the Kitsune Spellmaiden. But this will trigger a reaction of the bushy attendant, who will shoot at the gargoyle while it moves. So once again, 2 strikes, and this time 14 and a 19 both are failed hits. So the gargoyle is into contact with the Kitsune and will now try to attack her, and the Kitsune Spellmaiden will try to dodge it with her agility of 14. The gargoyle has 2 strikes, the Kitsune has only 1 dodge attempt. And both hits of the gargoyle hit with a 3 and a 4, but the Kitsune makes a dodge check with a 10, so the gargoyle does not hit the Kitsune, and the Kitsune is allowed to dodge 3 inches, which she will use to... this is not a smart idea. To dodge just out of here. Getting a little bit behind the other bushy attendant and the clan champion. Now this gargoyle has 6 inches to the tree, another 6 inches from the tree. It will run and climb over the tree with her 12 inches getting here, and her other 12 inches she will the gargoyle will get into once again into contact with the Kitsune, and the Kitsune will dodge. And here, no, I would say no reaction, but it is within his awareness. So he is allowed to react with half of his value, which he will try to do. So 2 strikes at an accuracy of 6. 12 and a 2, the 2 is a hit. Needing 8 or less, 17 is not enough. Now the gargoyle attacks the Kitsune tries to dodge. 3 and a 2, 2 hits of the gargoyle, but the Kitsune with another 2 will successfully dodge this attack of the gargoyle too. And now she will dodge between the two bushy attendants. And a little bit more because these were only 2 inches. Here we are. Now let's start with this golem. This golem for 3 inches is not within reach. So therefore it has to use a run action to get into contact with the clan champion. And now the golem will attack the clan champion. The clan champion will use it to dodge. The golem has 2 strike, the clan champion 1 die to dodge. With a 12 and a 19, the golem is above the 10 offense. The clan champion would also have failed his dodge roll, but he's still allowed to reposition 2.5 inch. And he will do that to get out of melee range of both golems, so that he still stays within 2 inches, and now also has the gargoyle within 2 inches. And since the kitsune is also not into contact with this golem will attack the bushy attendant. The bushy attendant on his end will try to defend himself. So both the golem in white with the white die has offense of 10, the bushy attendant has a defense of 10. So let's see with this confrontation. The golem has an 8, which is the highest number, 3 and 4, 20 fails. So the golem has won the confrontation. And he has a power of 15 against armor of 5, therefore 10 or less to wound. A 12 is not enough to wound. And here we are going into the next round. This time the bushy attendant will try to dodge, and the clan champion will also activate. He will attack the golem. So the golem, first of all, with an 8 and a 1 will hit the bushy attendant when he is able to strike. The bushy attendant will fail his dodge. But since the reaction phase is before the resolution phase, which would be this, before the golem hits the bushy attendant, the clan champion has 1 strike because reactive, 1 for arms master, and 1 for his combat art 3. 12 or less, 2 15, and 1 8. Now a 5 or less, and the golem is destroyed. 16, nothing. So 1 die ignoring the armor of the bushy attendant, 1 needs a 10 or less. It's a 12, this is not enough. And now the 15 or less, it's a 4. And with this, the bushy attendant is hit, but he's allowed to dodge. He will dodge away from the golem. So, the bushy attendant gets another wound, but nothing else happened, except we have a huge cluster here. So I'll prepare the 3rd turn of the Empire of Soga, and I'll let you join them. Having learned from his previous mistakes, the clan champion will call the stratagem evasion tactics to once again increase the agility to 12 for him and the bushy attendant, and for the kitsune to 16. And with this, I will start. I'm thinking about the bushy attendants, they will still stay in their warrior stances. And this bushy attendant will activate first. It will walk 5 inches up to here, getting behind the line of golems. And the bushy attendant will shoot at this gargoyle, who will dodge. White die for the gargoyle. The bushy attendant rolled a 2. The following dodge of the gargoyle is an 14, so the 2 hits. And with a 4, this is enough to destroy the gargoyle. Power 13 minus armor 5, so the gargoyle will respawn there. And now, let me see. Yeah, the other bushy attendant will activate. He will also walk 5 inches getting up to here. And will also shoot at this gargoyle, who will activate and try to dodge. So let's see. The 6 of the bushy attendant would have hit, but the following dodge of the gargoyle within 6 is enough to dodge it. So it is about around here. And now I do not want to activate the Kitsune Spellmain because I hope that her Burning Resolve would be useful. On the other hand, she also has the Flare spell, and the Flare spell has a 3-inch sweep spy, 3-2, sorry for the German, and it would be able to hit both of this golem to make a little bit chip damage, or the golem and the gargoyle. And it has the power of intelligence, which is basically 14, so it is a 1 point higher. But because of the 3, I really have to look out for my bushy attendants. So I think what I will do is activate this bushy, who will just go 3 inches this time in the hope to get between potential respawning gargoyles and the Kitsune Spellmain after her activation to take this gargoyle. The gargoyle will dodge. The 8 of the gargoyle is just enough because it has an agility of 8, so the successful hit of the bushy attendant is negated, and it will dodge 2.5 inch a little bit closer. Next, I will use this bushy attendant to get 5 inches up to here, and also shoot at the gargoyle, who's out of activation. With a 2, it is enough to hit the gargoyle, and a 20 is not enough to wound it. So this gargoyle is still there. Now let me see. Next, I have these 2. I think the clan champion will use an dash action to get around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To just get within 2 inches of this golem who's already wounded and attack it. The golem, on the other hand, will... Sorry, this was for Bushi. I believe it was this Bushi. You got it? No, it has to be this one. And he will attack the golem. The golem will dodge in return. And I will just double check the dash action. May declare a strike 1 attack in its action step. I assume that I can use combat art on it, so therefore it would be 2 strikes. Please, if I make a mistake here, write me down in the comment your thoughts about this ruling. So, 2 dash strikes because of Arms Master. Wait a second, Arms Master and Second Wind for advancing. So, 3 strikes from the dash against 1 dodge of the golem. The golem failed his dodge, and all 3 with an 11, 13 and 16 hit. Now 5 or less and the golem is destroyed. It's a natural 1, 7 and 20, and with this, the first golem is down. That was quite a struggle, but I assume it was worth it because now there's 1 hostile less to give concerns for the Empire of Soga. Now, is he within 2 inches? He is not. He repositions a little bit to be within 2 inches and outside of 1.5, so that the golem is not able to get into contact immediately. So he will attack the golem will dodge towards the clan champion. This time the clan champion has 4 strikes because he used his attack. 16 or less, all hits, 11, 8 and 2 twos. And each 5 or less is a wound. And this is a bad roll, 2 20s, a 12 and a 16, so no wound. Now the Kitsune will activate. She will she will walk 6 inches here next to the tree, where she will try to cast Burning Resolve at the clan champion once again. With an 8, this is successful. The clan champion immediately will use this activation point to strike at the golem. 4, 4, 6 and 14, all 4 are hits, 5 or less. And here is a 2. Let me just, here, a 2, 18, 14 and 17. With this the golem gets 1 wound. Now the Kitsune once again will activate. She is around 3 inches, so she's good to go. 6 inches back to here. And once again, try to cast Burning Resolve at the clan champion. 15 or less. 17, which is not enough. So, this was, I believe, the 3rd turn of the Empire of Soga. They destroyed successfully 1 golem. Next, a gargoyle will respawn, and I will use the closest spawning point. I think it is it stated? At the beginning of a hostile turn, if a model would be standing in the... Okay, so it is not standard, but I think stated, but I think it is more interesting if it spawns nearby instead of down here. So I'll do that, and we will see how the next turn of the hostiles goes. Okay, let's start with the golem, who will walk into contact with the clan champion and attack. The clan champion has a defense value and a dodge value of 12 because of the evasion maneuver tactics, and he will try confrontation. 1 die for the reactive roll, a 2nd die for Arms Master, and this time he will use his fencing 1 to reduce the stat by 3 of the golem, who has 2 attacks. So the golem needs a 7 or less, the clan champion has a 12 or less. The golem fails to hit, but the clan champion with a 6 has 1 successful hit. So with this, the clan champion wins this confrontation, is allowed to try to strike, and with a 4, he successfully wounds the golem, who gets a 2nd wound. And since the golem is hostile, he will try again to hit the clan champion. The clan champion will respond in the same. I think I made a mistake. Let me just check, because I believe Arms Master will only activate in his active role. Let me see, where are the classes? Skills, Summoner, here we are at the classes, Arms Master. In the active role, the Arms Master must make, okay, in his active role, not in his passive, reactive, so let me just correct this. We will do this again, and in this instant, he will dodge. Now he will do the same, dodging his action in a second. So once again, a confrontation. The clan champion failed, but so does the golem with an 11 and an 18. And now the golem will try to strike again, and this time the clan champion will try to dodge. The golem succeeds with a 4 and a 6, but the following dodge of the clan champion with an 8 is enough to avoid the attacks. So the clan champion may reposition 2.5 inches, and he will do this roughly around here. Now, let's start with this gargoyle. You just respawned and will use a run action to get into contact with the Kitsune. And this will trigger 2 reactions of the bush of each, 1 reaction of each bushy attendant. So, this bushy attendant, 12 or less, 1 hit, and a 5 or less, 19 is not enough. The other bushy attendant, 12 or less, to 18, this was an 18, to 18 is also not enough, so the gargoyle is in contact with the Kitsune, and now the gargoyle will attack the Kitsune, who will react with a dodge. Hopefully 16 or less is enough. The gargoyle would have hit 1 time with a 5 and the 17 would fail, but the 7 of the Kitsune Spellmaiden is enough to dodge, and she does so closer towards her objective of opening the gate. The second gargoyle, with the same target, will also use a run action to get 6 and 10 inches behind the other gargoyle, which will once again trigger 2 reactions from the bushy attendants and attempt to stop the gargoyle. The lower bushy attendant first. 13 is not enough, but the 8 is enough, and the 18 is 10 points above the needed value to destroy the gargoyle. The second bushy attendant, a 1 and a 6, 2 hits, the 1 also ignoring the armor. The 6 needs an 8 or less. Yeah, with the 3 it destroys the gargoyle, and the natural 1 would have also destroyed the gargoyle. So, this gargoyle is done. And since this happened in the hostiles' turn, it is interesting because now the Empire of Soga has a turn where only 1 golem and 1 gargoyle is at the field. So we will see what happens in their next turn. This turn of the Empire of Soga starts with the clan champion once again calling for evasion tactics and the bushy attendants taking on their warrior stance or continuing it. And this time the Kitsune Spellmaiden will activate first because she's within range of the gate. She will get into contact with it and she will try an intelligence check to open it. She has an intelligence of 14. And with a 4, this is enough. Let me just check. Sorry, toughness or agility, and since with the boost of evasion tactics, 16 or less would be needed. So this gate is open. Now, it's basically just getting through the gate. The unwounded bushy attendant makes a run action. It's at 5 and 10, close enough. And the second action, he will jump through the gate, successfully getting through. Now, this bushy attendant will also make a run action, 6 inches, 10 inches, and a second run action also allows him to get through. And now let's see about the clan champion. I should put the wound next to him. The clan champion will also make a straight run or straight beeline. So we are here with 10 inches, and with his second activation he will wait until the Kitsune jumps through and then he will follow. And with this, the Empire of Soga successfully managed to get through the gates with 2 wounds. Let me just clean up the board and meet you at the after action report. On to the after action report. What do I think about this prologue breaking in where the party has to jump through a mana rift? I think it is a nice idea to get a feeling of the game and also to get a feeling for your chosen party. This instance, the Empire of Soga. And also to start on with a little bit on the resource draining, in this instant with the hit points. So in the next quest, the Great Hall, The clan champion will only have 2 hit wounds, and this Bushi attendant will only have 1 starting the game. And what I am not quite sure about is why they included reward penalties, because a player earns victory points if he opens or destroys the gate, and in this quest where the goal is to get through the gate, I don't think I would have put in the option to destroy the gate. And players earn 7 victory points if all party members exit through the gates. I only can believe that this is if you playing this campaign, or in general the campaigns, with another player. So maybe you're playing it with 2 players or 3 or 4, and then you can tally up the victory points through the whole campaign, and then the player with the most victory points in total after every game wins the whole campaign. And this is the only explanation I have why they would include rewards and also penalties for example, breaking the alliance, or each party member that got incapacitated or dead. So I don't know about that. But for a true solo experience like I'm doing it, I just ignore the rewards and the penalties. Otherwise, I think this introduction quest is great. Similar to the one of Heart of Obsidian, where you have to search the destroyed settlement for the entrance to the underground. And I'm really looking forward for the next quest, especially since the time for Northern Wind here in Europe will most likely take another few weeks. So I hope I can keep you and myself entertained with the Restoring Balance campaign, and I'll see you next time. Bye!